Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the house that Ellen built. My name is Scott Kinmartin. With me, as always,
Greg Vollmer.
And we're going to discuss the Buffalo Bills, who are hosting the Pittsburgh Steelers. And right now, the Bills are sitting at 3-1, and the Steelers are 1-3.
We pretty much have two teams going in exact opposite directions.
That's true. They beat the Bengals week 1. They had 4 interceptions against Burrow. Haven't really done much since. They lost to New England, they lost to Cleveland, and they lost to the Jets.
It was a dark week for Bills Mafia after that Dolphins loss. We really needed that victory against the Ravens, and it was in, epic comeback fashion. Now Bills Mafia's energy is back. It's hyped. The city's pumping.
We're ready
with
to
energy
go.
again.
Let's do it.
And,
Hammerlot, baby. Hammerlot.
Bills Mafia's already got their voices rested up for this one. They got the Labatt's on ice.
Yep.
They got the tables stored, ready to go.
Hopefully the players are on ice this week, getting ready, because we've had some injuries. We did lose Jamison Crowder to an ankle injury. He broke his ankle. He'll be out indefinitely, at least 4 to 6 weeks.
Yeah.
Unless he's like Dak Prescott and he can come back in 2. Although that was a thumb, wasn't it?
Yeah.
They're without T.J. Watt. That's the big name.
It's a big one out, yeah.
And for us, of course, we know Hyde is out. We know Tommy Doyle's out with ACL tear. We are out with Marcus Stevenson still. He's still not back. Second year, wasted year. Christian Benford, not sure what's going on with his hand.
From his broken hand.
Yeah, he could probably tape it up and play this week, but I don't think they're going to need him. Trey White is coming back to practice this week. We'll find out if he's going to play. Probably not. They should let him come back slowly because we've had such a good, strong start with our secondary. Ed Oliver, like I said, I hope he's playing. And Davis, I actually want Gabriel Davis to sit out for a week. Elevate Isaiah Hodgins, play Khalil Shakir, and let him play in the slot. I think he's sure-handed right now. He's doing well for a rookie. And then we got to bring back that run game. Other than Josh Allen having 11 carries last week, I want to see not just those little dump passes or screen passes to Singletary. I want to see them go off tackle with all 3 running backs. And we may end up seeing Cook, or who else could go back and get punts and kicks? Shakir could.
Or Cook or Shakir is who I would think would be the best options.
Yeah, so we say goodbye to Mitch Trubisky. He'll be there as a backup. Maybe we'll pick it alive and see Trubisky anyway in the game. It sucks because when he came to the Bills, we knew he wasn't going to start over Allen unless he got hurt.
He knew he wasn't.
He had a good, experience for that 1 year behind him. Got another starting opportunity. Has had the worst QBR in the first 4 games in all of the NFL. He had 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, averaged like 160 a game.
Yeah,
just wasn't
Steelers'
looking right.
offensive line hasn't helped the situation, nor has it helped with Najee Harris, who has not had a great start to the season.
When you bring in a guy who was a former a first round number 2 overall, you expect him to do better than 1 and 3. And when you've got Najee Harris, Deontay Johnson, Freiermuth, who's their leading receiver right now, Claypool, you got all these guys. You have targets, right? And they're not using them right. So maybe bringing in a rookie will do something. I think they were pressured into doing that, but.
So it's the Bills' second home game of the season at Hallmark Stadium. The Bills are open up as 14-point favorites.
Yeah.
Under is 47.5.
Which I'm still calling the under, I believe. Let's get into our predictions real quick. I predict that the Bills are going to win that. I want to say it was 34-9. That's my prediction.
Yep. So you're predicting 34-9. My prediction is going to be 38-13 Bills. I don't think it's going to be close.
So you're picking the over then?
Yeah, I'm picking the over.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's talk a little bit more about Kenny Pickett and kind of the history that McDermott and Frazier have going up against rookie quarterbacks.
I feel like they're going to eat. Our defensive front, especially if they have Oliver back and Rousseau's playing well.
Yep.
Von Miller, even though he wasn't necessarily on the stat sheet much last week, he still plays a big role in leading that defense. And, Poyer, 4 interceptions in 3 games to lead the league right now. Pat McAfee made a bet that if Poyer has 12 interceptions in the 17-game span, which he may not even play, the full 16 since he was out 1 week, $1 million if he has 12 interceptions this year.
To the charity of Poyer's choice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, what was the record? Was it 14?
It was set in 53 or something by I think it was 12.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or no, wait,
14?
okay, wait. Trayvon Diggs got it last year with 11, and as a cornerback, so he would have to get 12. Poyer would have to get 12 to break the record,
Okay.
which would be extremely tough to do. From being a safety and not a cornerback. But I mean, it's doable.
They're sitting back there.
He's a third of the way there.
Yeah, for sure. So I said Najee Harris, not having the best so far, best season. He's averaging just under 50 yards a game. He's got 1 touchdown on the year. Allen's averaging more yards and more touchdowns per game than Harris. I mean, that doesn't say much about the Bills' rushing game, but they are in the top 12 because of Allen.
Yep. I mean, Allen he's quite frankly, it's close, but he is in my opinion, he is the clear-cut front runner going into this week 5 matchup as the MVP favorite.
Oh yeah, and maybe Pickett will use Najee Harris more than Trubisky did. He's only got 45 to 50 yards receiving, which somebody like that, you expect them to be able to go in the slot, be able to run routes, because sometimes they spread them wide last year, and they're not doing it right now.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what kind of chemistry has been developed with Kenny Pickett. Is it going to be more with Deontay Johnson he's comfortable with? Maybe it's the rookie George Pickens. I just have a feeling that this isn't going to be the best week to gauge that with the vaunted Bills pass defense. I think it's going to be rough going regardless, but it'll take some time to develop the chemistry and build off of it. Pickett's going to take a little bit of time to warm up, I'm assuming, but it'll be interesting to see over the next month what happens with that offense now that they have what they hope is going to be the face of their franchise.
Speaking of faces of the franchise, you were talking about Allen being MVP as a front runner. Last week he was leading the league after 3 weeks in passing. Diggs was leading the league in receiving. This week they took a step back, and Allen is now second in passing, just behind Joe Burrow by like 23 yards. I say Joe Burrow. Sorry, Justin Herbert. Diggs is number 2 in receiving, so he took a step back as well with 406 yards, just behind Tyreek Hill. Diggs is number 1 in TDs. He's tied with Jahan Dotson, the rookie, with 4.
Yeah.
Allen is second in passing TDs, just ahead of him by 1. Mahomes, Goff, and Lamar. And, he's 6th in completion percentage, which is 67.3%. That's good. It's still actually higher than last year's.
I'll take it.
And then Geno Smith is surprisingly number 1 at 77.3% completion percentage.
That's like one of those, if you would have told me that before the season started, stats, never would have believed it.
By the way, you mentioned that it was 48-45.
Yeah.
You said the Falcons. Wasn't it the Seahawks?
Oh, the Seahawks did win that game.
48-45. So did you just misspeak? Falcons
Seattle.
played...
Okay, yeah. Seattle beat the Lions.
Okay, no worries. I just wanted to make sure we clarified that. I'm hoping other than Singletary and Diggs, with Isaiah Hodgins hopefully coming up, and with Shakir out there, maybe that opens something up for Dawson Knox. I mean, he's kind of due for a good game. Not that he ever has like huge games, but like 5 or 6 catches, 60 to 80 yards, and a score would be great. So when we're talking fantasy, whoever has him, you've probably been benching him or pretty ticked off that you have him in your lineup.
I think there's a lot of people that have tried to sell on Dawson Knox, kind of hitting the panic button, and it's easy to do. You get impatient. I think it happens to every fantasy player at some point.
I think it's because he was hot in the second half of last year, and people forgot that he also started slow last year. So he had some.
There are a lot of mouths to feed on this offense, and Allen. I mean, and for good reason. I think it's a good thing that Allen is able to disperse the ball to different guys, and it just goes to show how diverse our offense is. But yeah, fantasy for tight ends in general, fantasy is that's one of the toughest positions.
We know the Steelers' defense and the Bills' offense are on polar opposite ends of the spectrum. Bills are in the top couple, and Steelers are in the bottom couple. So you mix the two of those together with a rookie quarterback on one end and our defense super strong as well, it's a nightmare. I mean, both defenses do have 7 interceptions, but like we mentioned, 4 of them came against Burrow in week 1 when he was a little off. His O-line was not holding up for him. The Swiss cheese, he was getting sacked. I think he leads the league in sacks, of getting sacked.
Yep. It's got all the makings to, be one of those days in Western New York where the fourth quarter hits and there's a lot of partying and the music's playing and the beer's getting pounded and Everyone's getting ready to go have some fun afterwards for the after party. It's got the makings for that. Now, I don't want to jinx us, but it's just on paper and
one
everything.
game at a time, right?
Yeah, just everything. Mike Tomlin is no joke of a coach, but I just feel like our the old saying, your record is your record says what you are. We're 3-1, they're 1-3, and I do feel like we're just on opposite trajectories.
Yeah, we really don't have much else to say. We've got Josh Allen versus Kenny Pickett. You've got two good defenses, but without T.J. Watt, Steelers aren't the same.
That's a big. I mean, honestly,
those are big.
That is the T.J. Watt being gone. Not that I think that a rookie quarterback could win a shootout if it came to that against Allen. Like it's just not going to happen. But even then, if they had an offense that was showing that they were competent, not having T.J. Watt is huge because he's like a game wrecker, much like an Aaron Donald type of game wrecker. That if you don't have your eyes on him at all times, he can literally wreak havoc on a game script. So
we very well could see the Ravens again in the playoffs. The Steelers may go below 500 for the first time under Tomlin.
If Tomlin can get this team to the playoffs, then get his bus ready already. Like get his bus ready at the end of the season for the Hall of Fame. Because man, I mean he's gonna already be a Hall of Fame coach, but my gosh, like I feel like he would be a miracle worker if he somehow got this team to the playoffs.
Yeah.
But yeah, hopefully we're not like taking the Steelers lightly. I've got a lot of respect for that franchise.
But they lost to the Jets, okay?
Yeah.
I mean, the Jets had Zach
Yeah,
Wilson
I've
back,
always
but
liked Mike Tomlin. I think he's a class act. I think he takes his job incredibly seriously, and he's good at what he does. He's an old school type of coach that doesn't take any BS, but he also he's got a lot of knowledge and respect for his team. So and I've always loved the Steelers uniforms. Very classy, old school. So I don't want to say that it's like we're not going to spend a lot of time breaking this down just because the numbers just to me tell a story that it's going to be
when you're 14-point favorites, which is rare in the NFL.
The Bills should take this one. It's one of those wins that you have to win, especially as Super Bowl favorites. You have to win this game. I mean, yeah, you lose this game, it's not going to. In the grand scheme of things, after the game, then a player could be like, well, it's just 1 week. We're going to try to go 1-0 next week. But
we need redemption after last year's opener.
If you are trying to get the number 1 seed and make the road to the Super Bowl, go through Buffalo. You've already had a hiccup against Dolphins. That's fine. That was a kind of one of those one-offs, and it was a hard-fought game in the heat. This is not a game you can just lose like the Jaguars game last year. Don't let it be like that. And if so, then yeah, we clearly would let ourselves down because our team is way too talented to have a letdown to this magnitude, especially in front of the hometown fans of Western New York.
It's a new season, but in week 1 we beat the defending Super Bowl champions. In week 2 we beat the former number 1 seed in the AFC. Week 3 we got tripped up against the Dolphins. More turnovers, it didn't go our way, and it could have, even right down to the end.
It was unprecedented weather marked with a lot of shooting ourselves in the foot on the Bills.
Yeah, and then week 4, we persevered. We came through against a good Ravens defense, which is likely going to make the playoffs, and we won. So we've been tested. We started 3-1. You had predicted 3-1. You just thought we were going to fall to the Ravens early on.
I did.
Then you changed it, but hey, you can't win them all. I think we're both 3-1.
I'm still just so happy that the Bills pulled that one off against the Ravens. It's just
it's a great confidence builder. It's proof that they trust the process, right?
Yeah.
They trust the process.
It'd be a much different tone right now if we were talking about this preview. Having us be 2-2 and having 2 losses to 2 teams that we need to try to have a tiebreaker over.
Yeah. I think we'll still go 5-1 in the division, hopefully, and
that would be awesome.
The team we lost to, the Dolphins, they lost Tua, and that was a scary injury, and now for sure he's not going to be playing this next week.
Yeah, for sure this next week, and as far as his long-term future goes, that's still very much up in the air.
So Cincinnati beat the Dolphins. We've got Atlanta that beat the Browns. Who knows what they're going to be with Watson, but right now, meh.
And I did call that. On last week's video, I did say take the money line on the Bengals. I was right. I didn't anticipate Tua going out again, But either way, on that short week for the Dolphins, after everything that they went through against the Bills, I was like, take the money line on the Bengals, and I picked that one.
Yeah. And then we've got, the shootout between Seattle and the Lions. That was 48-45.
That still shocks me.
I know. I mean, Geno Smith, Jared Goff, Joe Flacco in previous weeks. You got all these other guys, Matt Ryan, that are coming up and making a name for themselves on another team. And, these journeymen, if you will.
Cleveland, going back real quick to the Cleveland Falcons game.
Yeah.
The Browns could not stop the running game. I watched the highlights of that one.
Yeah.
And they didn't have any answer. Cordell
That was
Patterson
after he
went
went out, too.
But then, you had Tyler Algier. You had that other
I can't think of his
by
name.
committee. I can't remember his name. Cleveland Browns could not stop the run to save their lives. Ended up being a close game. Field goal. Atlanta pulled that one out.
Chicago, once again, dumpster fire.
Poor Justin Fields.
Fields, they're not giving him anything. I mean, I don't think he's thrown more than 12 to 17 passes in a game. And, I mean, Darnell Mooney, you drafted him, right?
I didn't.
No?
I don't think I did.
Okay.
No, I didn't.
Okay, there was Chris that drafted him and cut him. But Dable gets his win. 20-12 snooze fest. Good to see Barkley doing something.
It goes to show how important, just because you're a franchise and you invest in a first-round pick that you think is going to be the face of the franchise for a quarterback, they could have all the talent in the world. You still got to try to have pieces around them. And the Bears, clearly, they've got a lot of work to do.
For sure.
To build around Justin Fields.
Well, a team that has built around their quarterback, the Los Angeles Chargers, they won 34-24 against Houston, which is now 0-3-1. So they're the winless team in the league.
And that was a game the Chargers should win.
Yep, and then you've got Green Bay that squeaked on by against New England in overtime.
And Zappy comes in.
Bailey Zappi.
How you feeling, Patriots fans? Probably not great. You're 1-3. You're in the cellar of the AFC East. Something that you guys should probably start growing used to. We got to experience that feeling for 17 straight years. You're only on year 2, going into year 3, really, of just kind of having a team that, you made the playoffs when we beat the crap out of you last year, but I don't know. It's one of those things where until you guys draft a quarterback that's on Allen's level. It's just, who knows? Who knows how long y'all are going to be in the cellar or not vying for the title in the division, but. It was our turn. Eventually, someone had to take over this division.
Yeah, good point.
That was my weekly hate fest on the New England Patriots.
And as previously mentioned, the London game, I had watched. It was fun. Jefferson came alive. They won by a field goal towards the end against the Saints. Then you have Dallas and Cooper Rush. Is there a QB controversy in Dallas or what? Dak Prescott is...
It should be. It should be a conversation.
He said, I'll be back in week 5, and then Jerry Jones said, whoa, whoa, whoa. He's not ready to throw with his thumb, so week 6, earliest. So
I should have listened to my brother-in-law, who's a huge Cowboys fan, Chad, down in Houston, Texas. He was pretty confident in old Cooper Rush, and I would have never thought that he would be undefeated right now. And
Ginger.
He's playing good ball.
Washington is kind of falling apart too. They've just not been right, and I'm not sure.
It's one of those. Again, it's just there's a trend. I mean, it's
they've got some
another.
young guys,
it's another franchise, kind of like the Bears. The way the Bears are going as an organization, they're kind of just a franchise that's getting in their own way. Whether it's a bad GM or it's a bad coach or
owner.
there's not the right pieces in drafting. Ownership is an absolute mess. It's it just goes to show that. If you don't have in the front office things stable first, then good luck having something stable on the field. So you had Kansas City and Tampa Bay. KC comes through in a barn burner. That was one where I felt like I'm surprised KC gave up as many points as they did with how injury riddled the Bucks still are.
They really don't look right.
But the Chiefs are a problem. They
remind you that they are still the team that we need to be. They are still
very much the team
Pacheco,
to be
the young guy, looks
in the
good.
AFC. Despite what everyone in the media is going to say, and that's fine, all the love that the Bills continue to get.
Yeah.
Despite what everyone says, the Chiefs are still the team to beat in the AFC.
Yeah.
The Bills have to get past them before we can truly be,
And I feel like
beating our chest too much.
This is the year to do it.
I can beat my chest to the Patriots fans. I can't do it yet to the Chiefs fans because we haven't gotten there yet. We got to beat them.
We beat them last year in the regular season, and we will
Gotta
see
beat
them
'em when it
again
counts.
this year in the regular season. Tennessee pulled it through against the Colts, who are not looking good. Now, I know there's injuries right now.
They took a gamble on getting a
Veteran
quarterback
again.
quarterback that, I think
It was what? Rivers, Wentz, Ryan?
Really,
Yeah.
ever since Luck retiring early, they've tried to chase a quarterback, and
Yeah, Rivers hasn't done it. Ryan isn't doing it. Wentz didn't do it.
they went the route of picking up veterans instead of trying to draft.
I get that. Can't you do both? You pick a veteran and you have a young guy. Is it Ellinger that's supposed to be in there playing?
Yeah, Sam Ellinger. Yeah,
We'll see.
I haven't heard anything.
Maybe they're
about
playing the
him.
long game with him, so they're going to take the losses this year and probably lose their head coach. If Frank Reich loses, this year
it's not
when he's
pretty.
got a decent team.
Man, it's not pretty right now for the
No.
old Indianapolis Colts.
So Tennessee beats the Colts 24-17. Philly beats Jacksonville. It was 29-21. Jacksonville's still pretty good. Don't sleep on them this year. They have the ability to surprise anyone.
They have every right to be in the playoff conversation here in the next few months. So, yeah.
Yeah,
But
for
the
sure.
Eagles are legit. The Eagles are legit. If anyone had any concerns before, they shouldn't have any now.
What about the Arizona Cardinals? I mean, they won 26-16, but it was against Carolina with an inept quarterback right now with Baker Mayfield. Everyone thought he was going to be what they needed, and clearly they overpaid for Sam Darnold and then now Baker. The 2018 class is clearly Josh Allen and Lamar. I don't know what's going on.
I feel bad for Panthers fans. I do, just because, man, it's just tough to be a fan, and especially if you're a diehard and having to try to get yourself up for watching them play on a Sunday.
Imagine being the receivers who aren't getting the ball.
You got DJ Moore, who just continues to be this potential stud top 10 wide receiver in the league, and he just gets no love from his
You
quarterback.
got Robbie Anderson just what is going on?
Yeah, I mean, the Cardinals, I think they are a just slightly above average team on their best day, but they're average on many other days. I think that
Ertz
they're
is looking good.
up and down.
And they're going to have Hopkins back soon.
They're going to get
Connor.
Connor's been kind of just
74 yards, no touchdowns.
and Murray has been
he does Murray
he's been
things
good.
certain weeks, but
he can do some kind of Lamar Jackson type things and evade pressure and run for first downs and throw at awkward angles or
that baseball player.
They got that baseball talent clearly showing from time to time in different situations. But I just think that the Cardinals, when it's all said and done, they're not true contenders.
No,
and they beat a crappy Panthers team by 10.
One thing you called out was that the Raiders would no longer be 0-3.
I did predict that the Raiders would
win a game.
would not go 0-4.
Brody can be happy. 1-3. They beat Denver.
And the Broncos continue to struggle under the new head coach and the new quarterback.
Wilson, I've always liked Russell Wilson. I don't like that he left Seattle, but I understand there wasn't, good chemistry anymore there. It was like they didn't appreciate him or he felt entitled. Whatever the case may be, he comes to Denver, I'm thinking, oh, God, they've got talent around them. They've got Cortland Sutton. They've got Jerry Jeudy. They've got all these guys. They've got Albert O as an ish. And then they lost Javonte Williams to an injury this week, and they've got to go with Melvin Gordon and Mike Boone. And
there's still a lot of season to go.
There is.
And so I don't want to, put the old, cart before the horse.
Yeah, I was like, where is he going? Yeah.
No, it's a long season, so I don't want to get too far ahead of myself. But I think it goes to show, though, you got to give a lot of kudos to quarterbacks in the past that have been veterans on one team, and then they go to a different franchise and have instant success. Peyton Manning going to the Broncos. And then you've got Brett Favre, who ends up going to ultimately leads the Vikings to an NFC title game.
That's true.
You have
Drew Bledsoe with the Bills.
Tom Brady, that's low-hanging fruit, but Tom Brady, instant success, leaves the Patriots, goes and wins the Super Bowls next year. So it just goes to show, I think, because of some of these greats that you see have instant success and it's just plug and play, it doesn't mean it's always going to happen perfectly for every quarterback.
You got to fit the system. You have to have the right play caller.
And Russell Wilson has the ability to be a plug and play on any franchise. I feel like he's a good leader and he works hard. But I don't know. There's so far that just hasn't hit the ground running.
He always had a tight end he could rely on, even if it was Will Dissly. Right now, Albert O's not the answer.
And he's not running like he used to.
No.
His mobility
he's
seems
11,
to be...
12 years in now, right? So the Raiders get their first win. Denver loses, and then you've got San Francisco that played the Rams.
Look,
The Rams, Stafford threw. He's got six.
threw a horrible pick six.
He's got really bad.
That was a
I mean,
backbreaker.
it was a closer game than the score, but not really. When you actually watch it by eye, you can go, wait a minute here. The Rams can't stop the Niners with Jimmy G going down the field. Deebo Samuel is just, he throws a little 10-yard pass to him and he goes 60 yards down the field. It's like, you can't stop him. You're screwed. I mean, he pound for pound.
Sean McVay must have blown a blood vessel. I swear, because you can just tell I mean, no head coach gets that far without getting just pissed with losing.
Yeah, the Niners have had his number too.
And the Niners have had his number, and it can't feel good.
And Stafford's been getting killed back
and
there.
like it showed Sean McVay talking with Stafford right after he threw that pick six. Like what happened? Like what's going on, buddy?
I mean, you get Allen Robinson, right? You've got Cooper Kupp. He has 130
he was apparently
yards.
done. Like apparently Allen Robinson is done. I don't know. I've heard people talking about that. Stafford doesn't want to look his way, or he's missing him wide open. I've heard.
So is OBJ going back there, or is he coming to Buffalo?
I've heard accounts that that Robinson, will get the ball and it'll be catchable, and he drops it. So it's like I don't know what's going on with Robinson. Apparently, it's clearly not working out the way the Rams would have intended, because they wanted him to kind of be a fill in for OBJ's shoes.
Well, people wrote him off last year because he was in Chicago and didn't really have anything.
Yeah, I always liked him in Chicago, but
yeah, I mean, once Fields got there. Now it might be Fields. Who knows?
Yeah,
but
I'm indifferent to your OBJ question. I'm indifferent to it. I just OBJ might be really good buddies with Von Miller, and that's all great. And he might want to have that storyline with Von Miller.
We may need him if we keep getting banged up.
If we keep but right now I'm just indifferent to it. I feel like he's not the kind of person that we have to have in our locker room. I'm not saying he couldn't contribute. I think if he stays healthy, but he's gone through now 2 major knee injuries.
Yeah.
So don't forget that.
He had a hell of a game in that Super Bowl
before
he got hurt again.
His knee gave out on him. I don't know if he caught the turf, but it was non-contact, and that's
he would have been MVP over Kupp.
So talent-wise, he could come and contribute, but I just think right now we don't necessarily need him. So,
and the last game that I wanted to talk about was the Chiefs beating Tom Brady and the Bucs. I think Mahomes is still doing Mahomes things, and
he's amazing.
And Brady doesn't have enough there. We've talked about the injuries.
I think Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes are the 2 best quarterbacks in the National Football League.
Yeah, and Lamar's good. He's had a great start, but that week 4 was nothing like the first 3 weeks.
And
Clearly,
Lamar's
the Bills have his
Lamar's
number.
top 5. I just think number 1 is Patrick Mahomes, and I think
Allen's right there.
Number 2 is Allen, or you could even say it's 1A to 1B.
Yeah, I would probably prefer that, only because I've seen them do similar things, but then you just see Mahomes with anybody. Well, he doesn't need a Diggs. He doesn't need a Hill. He can still do it.
There's still obviously a long season to go, and we still have to try to beat this Chiefs in Kansas City again here in a few weeks. But I don't know. It has all the makings, and I'm sure the NFL would love it too. It has all the makings to have like another storyline where it's the Bills having to try to get past the Chiefs in the playoffs to get that first Super Bowl appearance in a long time.
Oh yeah.
Get that first one under Allen. I mean, that's what obviously we all want. So it's gonna be. We gotta. Yeah. In order to beat the best, in order to be the best, you gotta beat the best. And right now, the best and the cream of the crop in the AFC still is the Kansas City Chiefs.
Yeah. So we started with our preview for this week. We've got our predictions of 38-13 Bills, 34-9 Bills.
Both predicting
he covers
a
the
blowout.
over, I cover the under. A blowout still. They still cover the spread of 14.
Over under 1 pick for Jordan Poyer on Sunday.
I'd be happy if he even gets 1. I'm not going to go over. I say right at 1.
Yeah.
That would be great, though. If he averages 1 a week.
Yeah, I would say 1. I'll say that there's going to be some love and there's going to be some opportunities given from the rookie quarterback.
Okay, but you asked me and you said over under. I picked the 1, so you can't cop out. Also, you have to go over or under. Is he going to have the 1? So is he going to have 2?
He's going to have 1.
1.5? Can you get 1.5? Can you share an interception like a sack?
You can't share an interception.
Oh man! All right. Well, the last thing I wanted to mention was the cards here. So I will start first. This here is a Panini, the National, and this is the one where Josh Allen is in his Wyoming uniform. It's a really cool card.
Go Pokes!
$399.
Laramie, Wyoming.
And the number is actually 342 of 399. He's really put Wyoming Cowboys on the map. And then the other one is Josh Allen in the Bills uniform here,
Yep.
also of $3.99.
Same thing, 2018 Panini, the national rookie card. You got the awesome holographics. Yep, numbered 64 of $3.99. Awesome card.
And if you put them side by side, you will see that they are very similar. It's just different uniforms.
Super cool rookie card.
All right, well, that's going to do it for this episode. We hope the Bills win. Let us know your predictions in the comments. The best comment will get a Josh Allen card sent to them in the mail. You just have to respond to my response to your message, and then you'll get a card.
Yeah, thank you again. Thank you for the continued people that are following us, that are watching us. Don't forget to subscribe if you really like what we're putting out week to week. This is a passion project. We love doing this. And we hope that those of you that continue to support us and watch, we hope that it adds a little brightness to your week. For all the other awesome tidbits of information out there on all the different podcasts, there's a lot of material out there. And
let us know.
We're grateful to be a part of it.
For sure. Yeah, let us know if you want this, if you like it here on YouTube, if you need it on all the podcast stuff. I haven't tried to, distribute these elsewhere. Maybe Facebook, but
yeah, subscribe, shoot us a like, comment. We'll try to be as interactive as we possibly can, and a message to Bills Mafia as always. Hope you tailgate your asses off as we prepare to take on the Steelers there at the old Ralph.
Stay hydrated.
Don't forget to pound those Labats, bust through those tables responsibly, and as always, take a few hydration breaks.
Yeah.
Let's have some fun. Cheers to another week.
And let's go Buffalo! All right, and that's a wrap. 3, 2, 1. She's an outtake, she's gonna be an outtake, yeah. She's an outtake, she's gonna be an outtake, yeah. That was Candid Camera. That was porn for me as a kid.
Oh my God.
I'll tell you about it later.
All right.
Let's get started. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, this is Scott Kinmartin. Welcome back.
It's like, I feel like, man, my stash is like turning different colors.
It looks red. It
Yeah.
looks like you have an orange. Oh my God. It looks brownish here, but on there it looks red. We have a monitor here. Damn, that's like the red fern, dude. You look like a straight up ginger.
Okay. All right, I'm ready.
Are you good?
I'm good.
All right.
All right.
Yellow, butter, purple, jelly, red, jam, black man. Say quicker, cider, Snickers. Red black man. Okay. All right. Welcome back to the house that Allen built. My name is Scott Kinmartin. With me, as always,
Greg Vollmer.
And this week we're going to talk about the Buffalo Bills versus the.
Christ.
All right, I had to think about that one for a second.
The
Here we go.
Pittsburgh Steelers.
That's all, folks. Okay.
All right.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's a pen.
All right.
All right. Stop laughing. Is that your bowels, or was that outside?
That was us.
Okay.
But it could be. I mean, my stomach's been f***ing
We did
gurgling.
have some Mongolian buffet today. Okay.
It's okay, baby. You can rub your water tummy right here. You want some Tums?
Let's just make it through this second episode
Okay.
without me myself.
You do have a streak. Okay.
More than one type going on here.
That's true. You loser.
I've got a losing streak of parlays, and I've got a streak in my underpants after that Mongolian grill.
How much will you sell your underwear for?
I Mongolian grilled my fucking underpants
Oh, damn.
with a skid mark.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. My name is Skid Martin. Skid Martin?
Scott Skid Martin.
Skid farting. Okay. Welcome back to the house that Allen built. This week we're going to cover the Buffalo Bills at the Pittsburgh Steelers. But first, my name is Scott Kinmartin. With me, as always,
Greg Vollmer.
all right, the Buffalo Bills are playing at home for their second home game against the Steelers. Now, they're reeling a bit. They just cut off Mitch Trubisky, and they're starting Kenny Pickett.
Yeah.
What are we going to do about that? What is our defense going to do other than eat the shit up?
McDermott and
You want to start over one more time?
Jesus.
Yeah, it
All
was a
right.
little funky anyway.
Jesus.
All right.
All right.
Hey, we took a break for too long, maybe.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, we're getting goofy now.
Yeah, I know. Well, it's
We gotta-
okay.
All right.